What's going on, everyone? Moose here, Airguns in Michigan, and we are live Tuesday night with Tom. We're just waiting on Tom to join. He should be here in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. And hopefully we'll get some joiners. Tom needs a link sent. Give me 1 second, guys. Apologize about that. Let's see. I don't remember where I sent Tom's link to. Sorry about this, guys. Tom lost his link. Son of a monkey. Oh well. Tom's going to have to figure it out. Anyway, sorry about that. Just a little bit of confusion. You know, Tom's getting older. We give him some. All right, hold on a second. He sent it to me. There we go. There we go. All right, we're all set. Back to live. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your, hey, my wife's in here. Trying to, just a second, guys. Pulling up my live feed so I can see what's going on. And yes, it is there. Peter, what's going on, man? What's going on? So, there we go. Just a little bit of lag, but cool nonetheless. Sorry, guys. Like I said, still waiting on Tom Holland. So, not much, man. Just got back from high pressure pneumatics. Went out and visited my buddy Tom out there and learned how to add items to his website to help him keep his website up to date so that you guys can get some better stuff. What's going on, West Virginia Air Gunners? It's good to see you on here. Just taking a look here. But, yeah, so we're waiting on Tom Holland. He should be here any minute. And then I didn't really come prepared to really talk about stuff. What's up, Bill? It's my dad's name. So, cool thing I got today, I got the inline regulator for the air guns. If you guys have never seen one of these, basically this side connects to your air tank, like your filling tank. This side connects to your gun, and you can actually dial the regulated pressure from your air tank to your gun. So if you're like me and you shoot like a Texan or something that's an air hog and you don't want to have to keep refilling your gun, you can hook up one of these. And I just found out in Pennsylvania you can't hunt with an air gun. You can't hunt anything. Backyard sniper, what's going on? You can't hunt anything with an air gun in Pennsylvania? Or just deer? You can always come on up to Michigan. Yeah, I definitely appreciate West Virginia Air Gunners. Or Bill. I think I'm subscribed to your channel. Pretty sure I am. But, yeah, like I said, waiting on Tom Holland. Tom just got back from the Carolina Classic. Shot a Grand Prix down there, which is field target and Hunter field target. They had air gun pistols and all kinds of other events going on. And waiting to hear the story and the feedback from Tom Holland. This ought to be exciting, especially if you guys are into hunter field target or field target shooting. There he is. There's Tom. Let's get him on the air. What's going on? Oh, he's got a Carolina Classic shirt on. I survived the Carolina Classic without a mask.
Something like that. Now, if we get disconnected by some strike of a miracle, which I think might happen, because I just got an email saying that my hotspot jetpack that we're on right now only has a couple gigs of info left for me to use. Now, I don't know if it'll slow down or stop completely. So we might have to revert to my phone when we get to that point, if it gets to that point.
Son of a mother.
And I'm supposed to have unlimited. So obviously to cut me off at 15 gigs, I don't think is doesn't sound right to me. Put it that way.
What they'll do is they'll throttle it back. They'll turn on bandwidth.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's what they do. I've got them.
We'll see. It says I have unlimited, but
unlimited up to a certain amount, and then they throttle you back. It won't disconnect you, but it's going to slow you down. So you'll go from like 4G to like 3G. But hey, we might not be eating up that much data just showing video. So it's streaming. So
true.
It might not be that bad. But hey, check it out. Check out what I picked up today.
Nice. Dual gauge one.
An external regulator.
Now you can tether it.
I'm going to tether the Texan. That's why I bought it. I bought it for the Texan so I can go out and have a good time shooting that thing. But sup, Moose? We can hunt turkeys in Ontario now with air guns. I don't know the details.
There you go.
Man, I'll tell you what. I wish we could hunt. Well, we can hunt turkey in Michigan with an air gun, but it has to be an air shotgun. And I'm also super excited to share with you guys that my super chat is now available. So if you guys are supporters and want to help me to support all the stuff that I buy to bring you guys these videos, you'll notice that the super chat is now live. And tonight we are going to enter to win an Airguns of Michigan t-shirt. To enter, simply donate any amount to the super chat. I'm not trying to beg you guys for nothing, but we will enter you in to win an Airguns of Michigan t-shirt. So if I see a super chat pop up with anybody's name on it, I'm going to write your name down. And at the end of the live, I'm going to pick a name and somebody's going to win an Airguns of Michigan t-shirt shipped to your door. So West Virginia Air Gunner. I used to live in Alpena for 15 years. Dude, I love Alpena area. We Skinny Mitch, we vacation up in that area quite a bit. As a matter of fact, we almost bought a house on the Grand Lake, which is up there outside of Alpena. So we spent a lot of time in Tawas and Oscoda and all up along that edge in Michigan. So So come on, Tom, get some details, man. What kind of stuff did you do? What happened? What went on? Did you get a flat?
It was an interesting weekend to start with. Before we even got going, we had the gas issue here on the East Coast. So we had that to deal with. And I kind of was going into it a little bit prepared because I cleaned my car out and put 8 gallons of Go Juice in the back, just in case we couldn't get gas down there or somewhere along the way.
So did you go with somebody? Somebody with you?
Yeah, I went with Tom Wade. He's the match director for our club here on Long Island. Right. So we went together, and we got into Virginia, and we said, you know what? Let's see if we can find gas. And at the stop right off the first interstate there that we stopped, every station was out. So it was a realistic thing that there was stations without any gas to them at all. And what I did was I went off, instead of just turning around and getting back on the interstate again, I went like a mile or two off the beaten path, and I seen a gas station off the corner of my eye down one of the side roads, and it had like one car at the pump, and I'm like, U-turn, pulled into it, topped up, and I knew that, at that point we had about like 150 miles to go because where we were in North Carolina, Pleasant Hill, is literally about 6 or 7 miles over the Virginia border. So we're really not into North Carolina that far. In doing that, once I filled up at that point, regardless on what happened, I could get back with what I had in the car if that was the worst case thing. But the situation got better as the weekend went on, actually. So it wasn't too bad. So we got there Thursday night, relatively late, probably close to midnight, 11 o'clock, midnight. And Friday, the range opened early for a sight-in, your registration. You get your goodie bag from them. Sight in everything that you want to sight in. I sighted in my air pistol for a bit, then went to the rifle, and we had the pistol match at around 1:30 or so. Weather was absolutely pristine all weekend. You couldn't ask for a better weather day at all. Made it through the pistol match. Had a couple little speed bumps, but I shot about the same as I did last year with it. And there's a couple pictures, and I'll probably post those pictures on my Facebook page and my web. No, I don't know about my website, but I'll post them on the Facebook page. And I got a video coming that I'm editing at the moment with some video that I took, generally of everyone shooting like practice. And there's some other video out there with pictures of the course and everything. And it was a good weekend. But I ended up in third for pistol. Got a little bit of bling for that, but was all good.
Man, so how'd you do in field target?
The first day, you have what's called the white course, and I think it's the blue course. And the white course is basically on a field that a gas line goes through. Probably the gas line, if I had to guess.
Right. Right. Everybody bring your car over here. I figured it out.
But it's a flat area, and we were basically on one side of this field, and they put all the shooting points in the shade on the one side of the field, and you had the bright sunlight of the rest of the field, and some of the targets were in the field, and some of the targets were kind of in the woods on the other side of the field. So you had a little bit of brightness. You had mirage, but as you had the mirage from the field, you're looking into the dark forest at the same time, trying to pick up a target and trying to, focus it, because we use our scopes as a rangefinder. So it was a little bit tough in that respect to maybe range find. The scores in general on the first day, I expected someone to come close to cleaning it or rather high scores consistently, and that wasn't the case. High score of the day was like a 51, and the majority of people were in the mid to low 40s. I had a 39 on the first day. I had 2 or 3 brain farts out of all the 17 shots that I missed. The rest of them were misjudging what little wind was in the later part of the day. And the rest of them were just, I don't know, mystery shots. 40-yard shots that went out 2 inches. And there was absolutely no wind at the point where I shot a few of those bad shots, so to speak. There was really no wind that should have pushed them out as far as they did. So we might have to do a little testing and figure out what that was about.
Right on. Thank you very much for your super chat donation, $5. I appreciate it, brother. And I put your name down for the drawing for the shirt. We'll be giving that shirt away today. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, for those of you that joined a little late, any super chat donation, I will take your name. I'm going to throw it in a hat at the end of this, and we're going to draw a name, and somebody is going home or going to be getting in the mail an Airguns Michigan t-shirt. So definitely appreciate that. So anywho, sorry about that, Tom. I'm going to be interrupted.
That's right. I have to do what you got to do.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was a tough thing. And
Bill just asked real quick. Hold on, Tom. Bill just asked, is it going to be on YouTube, Tom?
I'm going to put some video of some of the shoot on YouTube. I was busy shooting and humping equipment around the course, so I didn't get a lot of video from everything. I got video of some other competitors. The second day, maybe 2 or 3 different people shooting. So that I will post on my YouTube channel, not on my website, but that'll be on the. I'll see if I can post something and edit it nice, because I'm not an editor. I'm not a.
Right.
You see some of my videos. A cinematographer, I am not.
Right. Make sure you put some of those pictures up on Instagram as well.
Yes, that I can do. I got a bunch of pictures for that. We'll do the Instagram thing too. Right. But yeah, I was a little bit hard on myself the first day. I'm like 39. I dropped 17 points and everything. And Paul Cray, who ended up in a shoot-off for first place, was only 3 or 4 points ahead of me. And he's like 2-time former world champion, or 2-time or 3-time national champion. And he even said, he says, I couldn't figure that wind out. He goes, for you to get a 39, only a couple points away from me, he goes, hey, don't beat yourself up over it. He goes, dude, you did all right. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I am only a couple points away from these guys that, were in the bulk of where the scores were. And, I had, over the course of the weekend, 5 dumb shots that I should have thought a little bit more,
Peter, thank you, brother, for the
super
chat. We're going to enter your name in for the giveaway.
And they were gimme shots. So that was the end of the first day. We all went and met at Logan's Roadhouse or whatever, and the whole lot of us. I mean, I think there was 38 people registered for this Grand Prix. And probably you've seen 32 of them at dinner. I mean, we had 3 tables in the back, and everyone's, chatting and everything.
This is like the first main event of the year for you too, right?
Yeah.
While I understand that you practice, with COVID and everything else, you guys really probably haven't had as much practice as you have in the years past, right? So, I mean, you're talking about, stepping out after, and then last year there probably wasn't a whole lot going on. Bearded Airguns. Yeah. So, I mean, basically you took a year off, and all of a sudden now you're back to shooting. And, I mean, I can't even imagine how crappy my score would be.
You know what? Some people really got a handle of the field course on the first day, and they were off and running. But the guys that did well at that course are regulars at that course. There was a lot of guys. There was a lot of guys from the tri-state area, from up here, from New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. We had New Jersey represented. There was a decent amount. I would say a third of all the shooters were from the tri-state area here around New York City, and within a couple hours. So we were well represented in that respect. But the second day I had a couple dumb shots. It was a great course. I mean, the course was absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better planned setup, and it was a difficult course. They rate the courses in what's called a Troyer rating, and if you download the AFTA handbook of rules and everything, it states how to calculate those numbers, where you can get a Troyer rating per target, per lane, per day, per match. And they tell you how to calculate that. And generally, I think Grand Prix matches have to be at least a 28 Troyer rating. And I think you're not allowed to go past 36. And I believe, and the difference between 28 and 32 is very noticeable. We were close to probably a 35 on both courses. So it was probably one of the tougher, although the second day to me didn't seem as tough as the first day. But they said that the woods course, the second day, was the technically harder course. To me, I felt it was the easier one. Don't know. Maybe just me. The second day, I had like the third highest score of everybody on the second day. So, if I just would have gotten a couple extra points here and there, I probably would have been in a shoot-off or something.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's just crazy. And man, I thought shooting X was hard.
Yeah. Lauren said to say hello.
Oh.
I told her you said to say hello, and she says hello back. So
right on.
She was in a shoot-off for third place, and she did not win that shoot-off. My buddy Paul Cray from up in upstate New York, former world champion, went into a shoot-off. He was only 3 or 4 points ahead of me on the first day. He shoots a 54 out of 56 on the second day, comes back, ties for first.
Wow. Joe Nolan comes through with a $10 donation. Joe Nolan.
Cool.
Thanks, Joe.
So, so he goes into the shoot-off, ranges the target. It was like a 3/8 target or a half-inch target at like 16 yards, almost the limit. And he missed it. And the other guy, Gerald Long, excellent shooter from North Carolina, he knocked it down. So, and what Paulie did was he ranged it. He didn't dial in his solution. He shot the shot at 16 yards with his 55-yard setting dialed in. So he was about 3 inches low.
Whoops.
And he even said rookie mistake, but
right.
But that aside, it was a good weekend.
Yeah, I so want to get down with some of that stuff. I mean, I just came home with the Viroc, and man, I'll tell you what, man, that makes Springers a whole different story for me. I mean, I didn't clean the barrel, I didn't do squat, and Joe Nolan, you are my YouTube fix each night. You are on, can't lose you. But I was shooting bottle caps, like size groups at 25 yards with that thing, just consistently. Once I got it all sighted in, it was just awesome. So,
See,
you know,
he said first day is nerves. Yeah, I'm never nervous when I shoot though. You know,
yeah,
I've been
I'm
on
not
the internet. I'm not nervous. I just go and shoot.
right.
You know, I had some out of those 17 shots, I'm going to say there was about 7 to 8 shots that I didn't have a clue why they went where they went. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't. I was solid and steady. I was very happy with the way the gun and the scope performed. So there was that.
Did you use your
Someone,
new mark?
yes, I did, and it worked extremely well. And you wouldn't think you would need an illuminated feature in bright sunlight, but where they had those targets on the other side of that field on the first day, up inside those woods, yeah, you did. You needed it.
Right.
So illuminated reticle was that was a big thing. I probably would have lost many more few points without that lighted reticle.
Right.
Because I would actually lose the reticle in the woods.
Yeah, and dude, I'm gonna tell you, like, I mean, all my scopes that I have that don't have illuminated reticles, even though they're good scopes, they're still lacking that illumination. And there is definitely a want and a need for me to have all of my scopes be illuminated. I mean, like I put an Aztec on the Viroc, and it's illuminated. It's also first focal plane, but it's man, yeah, I love the illumination on that reticle too.
I was kind of optimistic that I wouldn't need the illuminated. I wouldn't need the illumination for this match. I felt. I was very wrong. When I was in the woods and all the targets were in the woods with me, there wasn't a lot of sunlight, but the lighting was consistent. So you really didn't need. I didn't really need. I don't think I put the lighted reticle on the second day. The first day, 100%, you needed it.
Right. What's up, Brian? Yeah, and Skinny Mitch, I'm the same way. Like, I went to my first egg shoot over the weekend, 100-yard egg shoot, and man, let me tell you,
I was watching a little of that. You were saying
there is nothing like watching an egg explode when a 30 cal smacks it. I mean, it literally just. I mean, it's awesome. If you've never done it,
nasty sound at that distance too.
Oh, it makes it's a weird noise too, but it's very cool. But yeah, no, and ironically too, I was the first one done shooting both rounds by a long shot. Like, I mean, I get up there and I'm there to do a job, and and I'm not, dude. I don't take a breath. Oh, relax. No, dude, I shoot my gun all the time. And this is why we shoot our guns all the time. My gun knows me. I know my gun. I know my ammo. I know where I'm at. I mean, I'm a blink, cock, blink, cock, blink, cock, blink kind of guy. And I mean, I probably got done shooting 8 eggs in like a minute, like probably a little over a minute. And then I was standing up and sitting down. And I was in the lead. Everybody else is taking their time, and like I'm like, dude, you got bipods. Like, what are you waiting for?
But yeah, it was something. Now, to answer a question that someone else asked before, what constitutes a pistol for pistol class in field target? You could shoot it in 2 ways. You could shoot what's called limited, which is you're limited to a 6-inch seat, just like you would in open or international class when you're sitting down. And there's hunter class, where you can sit on a bucket and sticks and you shoot just like you would shoot the rifle. You're limited to the lowest point of the gun being only 3 inches below the center of the barrel. So you can't have like a knee riser or something on that's this high from the barrel to help you hold it up. It can be only 3 inches. You're only allowed a 14-inch barrel, and that is included with the shroud. So if you have a 14-inch barrel, you can't have a shroud on it because it's going to make it longer and appear like a barrel. You're limited to 12 foot-pounds, and you're limited to a 12 magnification scope, period. You can have a variable 3 to 12 or a 4 to 12 variable scope, but unlike field target, where you're allowed to have a scope that's a higher magnification, as long as it has a 12x, a 16x mark on it for hunter in rifle class, you're not allowed to have that in pistol class. It has to be no more than 12. If it's a 4 to 16 that you set at 12, it's considered an illegal scope. Don't know why they do that, but it's the rule. And that's about it. You're limited to 12 foot-pounds, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I've seen field target or HFT with pistols. It's pretty interesting.
Yep. Well, I have a picture of one of the guys took a picture of me shooting mine, and there's a couple other pictures of other guys up there as well. So I'll post those on my Instagram page. And
now, what kind of pistol do you shoot?
I shoot a Crossman 1720T, and you can shoot any pistol. The targets are generally designed to go over at around 3 to 4 foot-pounds. So, no one really uses a CO2 gun or a pump gun. Everyone will use a PCP gun at usually somewhere between 8, 9 pounds and higher, as long as it doesn't go over 12 foot-pounds. And I shot my 11-grain slugs out of it this year, and I felt they were okay, but probably not the best choice I could have used.
God, that makes me want to get a P-Rod now.
Very similar to the 1720T.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think if you added a regulator to a P-Rod, you could easily get it under 12 foot-pounds.
Yes and no. You have, if you added a regulator doesn't add power. You got to do that through your valve spring. You got to open up the transfer port, and you got to.
No. I'm talking about limiting it to under 12 foot-pounds, because a P-Rod's going to be over 12 foot-pounds.
Is it really? I don't know what they are stock, because I don't.
Yeah.
It's like the one Crossman gun that I don't have is a pistol Marauder.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe that'll be next.
Right.
But what I'm trying to figure out, and as you'll see in the pictures I'll post some of the stills on Instagram once I'm off of this, and I get something to eat.
Right.
Once I do that, I'll post them a little bit later. But you'll see where my pistol, where the fill port is on the end of the pistol, the Foster fitting. I have a bottle attached to it that goes out forward. What I want to do is I'm trying to find someone that makes a dual bottle adapter that I can have 2 smaller bottles come back towards me instead of out front, because the gun is nose heavy. It's a little unwieldy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to find someone that makes such thing, and I can't find it.
Honestly, I don't think anybody makes them like production, but Dudek will make one. He did it for Zurich.
I asked him, and he's got some other stuff going at the moment, and he's not really able to make one. Right. And I think he's going to incorporate something like that in a Velocity Outdoor / Crossman custom shop type thing, where customers get referred to him and he does the work and all of that. He's a little bit preoccupied with that at the moment. So
Brian,
a little out of luck.
two answers for you, Brian. One, you have a UTG scope, can't find zero for the life of you. Shoot a closer target. Shoot 10 yards at like a 12 by 12 target. If you still don't have zero, shoot 5 yards. And, just figure it out. You'll figure out where you're at. Set yourself a dot so you know if you're shooting high or low or left or right. And then just keep moving backwards until, you get to your desired stuff. P-rods. Cost for P-rods, $350 to $500, depending upon which one you're interested in.
Now, he's saying that he's got a UTG that he can't zero. You can't zero it possibly because you probably might have to shim the back of the scope, if I had to guess. That's a typical thing with a lot of air guns, whether it be a pistol, a rifle. Adjustable mounts is the easiest way to go. And the bad thing with a UTG that you can't zero is, particularly if you bottom it out one way or the other, you could damage the scope very easily. It's not known for being a tough scope in that.
Good thing for you though, they're lifetime warranty. So send it back to UTG. Call Leaper, they'll RMA it and get you a brand new one.
Yep, I would definitely go with adjustable mounts. Because that way you put the scope on, you put the mounts on the gun, you mount it on solid, you take a shot, you see where the shot goes compared to where you want it to go, and you adjust the mounts to get it within an inch or two, and then you can use your turrets, just a couple clicks here and there, and you're on. It's probably the best way to do it.
Backyard Mike says, Moose, I shoot sub 500 foot per second in 25 cal. I can shoot 25 cal pellets off a target at 25 yards. It's a challenge. Yeah. We actually did 22 caliber pellets at 50 yards with 22 guns. I did it with my 22 caliber sniper Maverick. And my buddy was doing it with his Zabroya Kozak. And we were shooting 22 rounds at 50 yards. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Not anywhere near as cool as shooting eggs at 100 yards, though. I'm going to tell you what. I had so much fun doing that, man. It was just awesome. If you guys haven't shot an egg at 100 yards, go out, shoot an egg at 100 yards. It is a riot.
That's a lot of expensive eggs, though.
Yeah, eggs are cheap.
Not where I live.
Yeah, we're still getting eggs for like $1 a dozen.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kroger's has them on sale all the time. I eat a lot of eggs, like a lot of eggs. Like I'll usually eat 6 eggs in the morning.
We're talking stupid. We're talking $4.99 a dozen.
Holy shit!
Maybe $3.99.
Let's maybe got a $4.99 here. Wow. Yeah, we just wait for them to go on sale at Kroger's, and then we just buy like dozens.
West Virginia, $4.99. Yeah, that's what they are here too.
Well. Yeah, I think our normal price is like for Kroger brand, it's like $1.99.
You're normal because you're closer to the source. I'm in the middle of the city. You got to pay for trucking. You got to pay.
Right. It's like living in Hawaii where you're spending $8 for a gallon of milk.
Yep.
And that was years ago. So I don't even know what they're charging now.
Well, my sister lives in Bermuda. She's like, I don't know, the queen of the power company or something. And gasoline, it's the same thing with gasoline down there. It's like $8 a gallon. And that was back then. It's probably more than that now.
I just paid $3 a gallon for gas. Now, I know there's some of you guys out there right now that are paying more than that.
I'll tell you what, New York City, that's about the price in New York City.
It's not been $3 a gallon here in Michigan yet. There you go, Joe Nolan. Yeah, actually, 1.5 dozens. Yeah, 18 eggs. That's what we pay, like $1.89, and sometimes they go on sale for 99 cents.
Not here.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We buy eggs all the time.
gas here in New York is about 305, 315 in that realm.
Yeah, when I left earlier to go up to not high pressure pneumatics, I should have filled up then because it was only 281. And then once I got up north, mid Michigan, it was more because it's in the middle of the state. But I live in the country, Moose. Most of the time, we get farm eggs for free. Yeah, listen, I live in the country too, brother.
That's
and,
what I said. You're closer to the source.
My problem is that I should revisit it. I should revisit it because in the past I've tried to eat like brown eggs or like, colored eggs because, the chickens put out speckled eggs and all kinds of stuff. And I just didn't like them. But once again, my taste buds changed. I mean, I used to hate zip sauce on my steak. If you guys have never had zip sauce, it's amazing. But recently I found a real knack for it. So like I really want to eat it all the time. So, taste buds change.
I also got a notice today that my 2 remaining airgun barrels, 1 in 16 twist and 1 in 20 twist, are coming from Lothar Walther. I shall have them on Thursday.
Sweet.
So I got to take these 2 barrels that I have from last week, and I got to polish up the breech end a little bit and machine that so it's happy and nice.
Nice.
Do a little testing over the weekend. Again,
I may or may not have put in an order for a TX200 MK3.
You may or may not have. I know what that translates as.
Right.
Means you did.
Right. Well, I mean, I stuck it in Tom's ear. I was like, if you can find one in the walnut right-handed, I'm pretty interested.
Well, my buddy that I went down to North Carolina with just bought a brand new TX200 Hunter carbine in walnut.
Well, so, I can get the Hunter carbine. They had those available, but I didn't want the Hunter carbine. And after doing some research and things like that, where I was looking at feet per second and this and that, I just figured that the standard TX,
yeah. The Hunter carbine actually is a little bit harder to cock because it's a little bit shorter.
Exactly.
That's one of the drawbacks of it. From what I understand, the barrels on the Hunter carbine and the TX200 are the same size. It's just the shroud that's different on the Hunter carbine. It's just shorter shroud.
Right.
But from what I had this debate or question, and I asked guys that take them apart all the time, and they dissect them, and they go, exact same barrel. I think it's a 9-inch barrel.
Yeah, well, there's one really quick way to find out. Let's look it up.
I don't know if they tell you what the barrel length is. They'll tell you what the shroud length is. But anyway, I'll tell you what, though. You see a very, very large array of different guns at these shoots. If you look at one of my videos that I took at the Nationals in North Carolina, I think in 2018, I have a very detailed video on people shooting all different classes and all different guns and stuff like that. It's a whole plethora of beautiful weapons. I mean, we're just hands down. And for what it is, for what it's worth, couple of the guys had electronic guns, as Miss Parsons did as well. And I think on the first day she had some issues with it, where it was shooting not at the velocity or not at her satisfactory manner, shall we say, which I bring back to the end of the day. I don't want electronics on a gun. That just put me off again.
Well, I'm
And
about
I
to
actually,
get corrected, but the barrel on the Hunter carbine is 13 inches, and
that's the
on,
total inches with the shroud.
no, that's barrel length.
Nope, barrels aren't that long.
All right, I'm just telling you what it says. It says barrel length. It doesn't say shroud length.
That's the length of when the pellet goes in to where it comes out.
Right. Don't know. Can't speak on it.
Yeah,
But
the
the
barrel
TX
length on the wall is 9 inches.
is 13.19.
Yeah, they're 9-inch barrels is what they are, and there's different size shrouds on them is the only difference. Good.
Well, right now it's saying that they're only 0.19 inches difference.
0.19.
Yep. 13 on the Hunter carbine and 13.19 on the
Yeah,
TX200.
that's the total length of the shroud and everything.
Well,
But the gun is,
they're still the same length.
yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So I'm curious now, what the hell is the difference? Well, I can tell you there is a slight difference in the cocking handle. The Hunter
Yeah.
carbine has a swell on the grip part, and
Depending on what model of TX it is, the TXs have that too, because mine had it.
yeah, the Mark III does not have it, but the Hunter carbine does. I wonder if that's why they consider it a Hunter. Because other than that, I mean, honestly, looking at the pictures on Pyramid, I'm looking at them side by side. They look identical.
Yeah, I have yet to actually physically measure one over the other.
Huh. Well, now I'm really confused.
I got a match in another week or two, and there's going to be a couple guys with TX 200s, and I'm gonna ask my buddy to measure his Hunter carbine from the back to the barrel, and I'll take my tape measure out and measure one of the other guys' regular TX 200s, and we'll see what we come up with.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you what's on Pyramid Air. Look, you're not arguing with me if you're trying to make a point. I'm telling you what Pyramid Air says. So
I'll get an accurate measurement of both.
I don't know neither one of them.
Right. So, well, I'm gonna make an accurate measurement of each next time I come across them. I'm walking around with a tape measure in my pocket now. I find more often. So I keep a little 8-footer in my pocket, and I measure everything.
Well, now I'm really curious because, man, this is different. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But either way, I still want one. I still want it in walnut.
Walnut is sweet.
I definitely want it in walnut.
But I would have advice for one thing for everyone that does have a TX that hasn't done anything to the wood. Put some tongue oil on it and give it some elbow grease. Put a lot of tongue oil on it and bring it out, because the satin spray finish that they have on even the walnut, it's rather skimpy in my opinion. It's a beautiful piece of wood, but in order to protect it, you put some tongue oil on it, you make that puppy shiny. Water won't have a chance to even touch it.
Right. Yeah, we can't show air guns on lives. Not that they're firearms, because that's YouTube's rule is no firearms, but they consider them firearms because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
So I can't do it on lives. I can do it on regular YouTube videos, but not on lives.
I don't understand why that they'll allow it on a YouTube video but not live. It makes no sense.
Right. I don't know either.
And I remembered that rule because I was going to show you the front of my air pistol, and I said, "Oh, we're live. We can't do that."
Nope.
So I left it in the case. I left it.
You can on Instagram. Instagram doesn't seem to care, which is
considering they own each other,
well, YouTube isn't owned by Instagram, and Instagram doesn't own YouTube. But Facebook and Instagram are pretty much in bed together.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. But yeah, they just don't take kindly to it. And I don't want to find out the hard way either.
No.
So
I got some little bit of machining and testing to do this weekend.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. Definitely enjoy new barrels. So
yep. I got 4 new barrels I got to play with. So
right.
I'm probably intrigued in trying the 1 in 20 twist first.
Right.
Is there a process to keep the stock finish satin and protected? I don't know about keeping it satin and protected. I know tung oil will give a nice shiny finish to it. I'm not a big wood guy. I can work metal and I can work a lathe and plastics. I don't know a lot about wood.
Ballistol might, but honestly,
Ballistol's got petroleum products in it also, I believe.
Ballistol does not have petroleum in it. Please,
no. They don't?
No. Ballistol,
I would be afraid, judging on how it smells, I would be afraid of getting it on wood.
But
myself.
It is a wood protector, and it does say that clearly on the bottle itself.
Oh, does it? Okay.
It does. As a matter of fact, it's all around gun cleaner and protector.
Right, but if there's a thin satin spray of some kind over the wood.
Airgun Web does no longer do YouTube Live shooting air guns. They got kicked out of YouTube for doing that just this last week.
Is that one overboard?
So they won't be doing that anymore. They that was bad juju. True Oil works good. Yeah, I would say, you know what? Honestly, if you have that question, I would reach out to the company that produces the gun and ask them, or go on one of the YouTube forums for that gun itself and ask, because you certainly don't want your gun to be shiny if you still want it satin.
Right.
And,
well, the only thing that I would also add to that is they do treat the wood with some kind of a satin, a spray or something. And I don't know how Ballistol would maybe react to that coating on it. It won't hurt the wood, I'm sure.
Well, we're not talking about Ballistol. We're just talking about in general. Because Tom and I don't know. Let's just get that. We don't know.
I'm not a wood guy.
You're better off to ask, somebody that has way more experience than taking our word for it, because
a stock maker.
Yeah, the second you put something on there, if it shinies it up, that's on you, and you're gonna have to steel wool the shit out of it and get it back to satin.
Yeah, well, I sent my TX200 when I had it to a tuner here on the East Coast. He's in New Jersey, I believe, by the name of Jan Craner, and he tuned my TX, and I gave it this thing to him. I said, make it pretty, make it nice, make it shoot. And he most certainly did. And I got this thing back, and I'm like, is this the same gun I gave you? He took the satin finish on it, he put tung oil on it and just rubbed it out. And that thing, it was like a mirror. You could see yourself in it. And it's probably the most gorgeous stock I've had in my hands.
Right. So let me make another point to everybody, guys. I don't care what Mac does on Mac's YouTube Lives. I don't. That's between him and YouTube. I don't care what Airgun this guy or Airgun that guy does on YouTube. I read very specifically the YouTube rules on being live and what can get me kicked off and what can't get me kicked off. And I'm only worried about Airguns in Michigan. So don't care who does what or what they do. I've heard horror stories. I've been told by people that I trust that have like 100,000 plus subscribers don't show guns on YouTube Live. So if Mac shows guns on YouTube Live, and if you think about it, Mac just got demonetized. And it was because of doing stuff like that. And I'm just not interested in that. So I appreciate you guys trying to look out for me and stuff like that. But I'm not Maccabee Speed. I don't want to be Maccabee Speed. I'm not, I'm not any of those guys. I'm Moose from Airguns of Michigan. And I'm going to follow the rules the best that I can so that my channel stays monetized and I don't run into those issues. So nothing personal. Just want to make it very clear to you guys that, I get it. Matt can show guns all day long. I'll show my guns in my YouTube videos that I produce because I'm okay to do that. And I'll certainly stick them on, on Instagram. But as far as YouTube Live,
well, YouTube Live, there's nothing that says that they didn't catch up to him yet either. That just might be the case.
Right. Like you remember when Joe, Cyclops Joe was like, Moose, don't show that gun again. And, and he called me and man, we had a conversation. He was like, Moose, I ran into problems doing it on mine. And I was like, oh, okay. Yep. I take people at their word and, and like I said, I'm not looking to have problems with YouTube. I already got enough problems with Facebook. But
who doesn't?
It doesn't pay me either. YouTube does pay me. So, for me, it's I'm doing this to help support my channel and to be able to bring you guys more content. It's very expensive, man. These guns that I buy and to bring you with all that stuff. Dude, I've got a fudge load of money wrapped up into air guns just to be able to bring to you guys and show you guys what I do. Well over 10 grand. So Moose and Tom, my Curl Arms, great Turkish walnut, but the stocks are almost raw. Yeah, and I've actually got some Turkish walnut stocks, like my Cattleman's, my
they are a little rough.
My my Guns Hand, and those things are really cool because it is Turkish walnut. But you take some linseed oil, some tongue oil, something like that, and rub it in there. Man, you'll have a great, unique, exactly, Joe. You'll have a very unique gun with a great grain.
You will not be disappointed with tongue oil.
Jason C, what's going on, man?
Because that's what the guy that did my stock told me he used. He goes, I use tongue oil, and that's it. And
there's all kinds of guys out there. I hear
it made it a different piece of wood.
Yeah, they're all going to produce something a little bit different. The best thing I can say is go out on YouTube and check out the guys that have done it. You'll see the different finishes.
There'll be 100 guys that will be finishing.
Right. And a lot of them use, the same 4 or 5 products. So you'll be able to get a really good, understanding of what your finish is going to look like. And, and it's not a simple just wipe it on and be done with it either. There's wipe it, rub it, buff it, do it again, sand it, do it again, sand it, and then it gives you that really nice, look. I've been kicked off Facebook a lot trying to defend our first and second the only way I could. Yeah, dude, me too, man. I believe me, I've been in Facebook jail a few times.
I don't even comment on anything political anymore. I just keep my mouth shut. It's sad.
Oh, not me. No, I still do it. Like Joe Biden's a rooster heart. If you saw my latest one.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I didn't realize. I just scrolled past it. I didn't realize that was yours.
It's a sea sucker, but yeah. Yep. Friggin' Jay on Instagram. Oh, Jason. Friggin' Jay. What's up, man? Spray it with polyurethane satin. I don't know if
possibly
my stocks, maybe.
Again, you'd have to. Well, that's what Crossman does. I've been in their thing where they hang all the Marauder stocks, all the wooden Marauder stocks in one giant thing, and there's a guy in a hazmat suit and a thing, and he sprays a whole lot of them in your spot.
Yeah, but I will say this about Marauder stocks. Take a thumbnail, you can scratch that shit right off of it too.
Yep, it's just a thin shot. It's just
Yeah.
it makes it water resistant to a degree, not waterproof,
Right.
water resistant.
Right. You know, I wonder if an air gun would shoot underwater. Just so happens I live on a lake, and I got a few guns I'd be willing to try it with.
It would probably go about a foot and stop, just like the guns do.
Yep. And for those of you guys that are just joining us tonight, I'm giving away an Airguns of Michigan t-shirt. To enter, simply donate any amount to the super chat, and we'll put your name down at the end of the live. I'm going to chop this up in the next couple of minutes, and we're going to draw a name, and somebody's going away with a shirt shipped to their house. So we've got 3 people entered so far. Super chats down below. I appreciate it. It's just going to help me bring you guys more and more content. So, yeah, I'm sure it would fire. Yeah. Like, I mean, I got a PCP that I might be willing to try it with.
Look up the two scientific guys, the 2 English guys on YouTube, and they're always doing stuff like taking a handgun, doing it underwater, slow motion. They show you the gun working. It's fascinating to see all this stuff at like 30,000 frames a second, and that's the kind of camera that they're using to do this. They also took a mirror and put a camera onto a mirror and went about 50 yards away and shot a 50 caliber right at the mirror, so it recorded it on the camera, so it would look like a bullet coming right at the camera without recognition.
No way! That's super cool.
Yeah, check those guys out. I forget what their channel is. They're two British guys or 2 Australian guys, but they do all kinds of crazy stuff. They try to shoot 2 paintballs in the air and have the paintballs collide and get a slow motion of that. They took a tiny pin gun this big with little tiny cartridges to it, and they did that in slow motion with soda cans and stuff. All kinds of stuff these guys do.
Nice.
And it's really fascinating to see some of it in stupid slow motion.
Nice.
They took a CD and they spun it up to something like 300,000 RPMs. And they just showed the thing in slow motion. You can see the thing bending and wobbling, and all of a sudden the thing just shatters. And they have this at like 200,000 frames a second or something like that.
No shit.
It's truly some cool shit.
That is cool. I do love watching slow motion stuff.
And to bring that up again, slow motion stuff, there is, I'm trying to remember the name of the channel, but if you Google or if you search on YouTube 1 million frames a second bullets, it's like a 10 or 11 minute video, and I'll watch this thing a couple times a year, and I'm fascinated with it. It shows armor piercing shells going through steel. It shows air gun pellets, wires going through paper. It shows air gun pellets hitting glass. All of that. And it's really fascinating to see a hollow point bullet mushroom on a steel plate. And right where the rifling is on the bullet is where it peels away like a banana. And you just got to watch it. Google that, though.
I will. I'm going to do that.
And it's in black and white. The whole video is in black and white.
All right, guys, we're going to do 2 more minutes to enter in for the Airguns t-shirt.
Yes.
2 minutes. That's it. Okay. 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to draw a name. We've only got 3 people in, so right now you got a 1 in 3 shot at winning the t-shirt. 1 more person gets in, 1 in 4. So just giving you guys the 2-minute warning. The 50 cal explodes when it hits the water, and slow 12 gauge slug will travel about 12. Yeah,
that is a big hunk of lead that you can't stop.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the feet per second as well.
Right.
You know?
If you look at what they're using now for ultra long range stuff, a 50 caliber isn't even in the running of some of these extreme long range shooters that are making 3.4 mile shots, and a 50 caliber isn't even in the mix.
Oh yeah,
It's
I was at the gun range earlier last week. When was I there? Thursday or Friday, and I was shooting with a guy that had the heck was that thing?
Tell me it was a 416.
No, I think it was a 300. But he was saying that him and his friends shoot 1 and 2 miles, and he was saying that one of his buddies shoots 3 mile targets. 3 miles. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, you can make a sandwich while you wait for that bullet to hit. Like, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, nope. He was telling me he shoots like 3,600 feet per second. I'm like,
yep. I have an acquaintance from out west. I believe it's out in Utah, and or maybe California, and they're using the caliber of choice right now for ultra stupid long range like that is a 416 Barrett. They use a 550 grain bullet. That the bullet itself is actually, if you take the bullet out, it's as long as the cartridge is. That's how long the bullet is.
right.
And they showed the guy making a 3.4 mile shot. He took 5 shots at 3.4 miles on a 3 foot by 4 foot steel plate. And he hit it all 5 times.
Wow.
And he shot it once, and he turned around. He goes, did I hit it? And he's chambering the second round, and he was just shooting the second round, and that first round was just hitting the target.
Wow.
And it took 17 seconds of flight for that bullet to make it 3.4 miles.
Friggin' Jay, down below, you'll see there's a little $sign thing you do, Bopper, at the bottom of your chat. Click on that, and you hit super chat. I don't know if it's going to let me do it to myself. Oh, it sure will. And then you can fill in the dollar amount and hit buy and send. So we'll give friggin' Jay another second here to figure it out. Hit cash, but to the right of your comment. Yeah.
Yeah, but 17 seconds bullet flight.
I was
like, what? They had to calculate Coriolis effect, which is the spin of the Earth. And I think they had to account the direction that they were shooting. I think that brought something like 23 feet into the equation.
Wow.
That's how much that mattered at that distance. See, if you shoot east and west, the Coriolis effect will make the bullet go high and low. Which order, I don't remember offhand. But where the biggest left and right difference is if you shoot north and south.
Friggin' Jay, if you want to get in, man, go ahead and do it. Rejoin. We'll hang out for a few minutes. We'll give you a second. I appreciate you wanting to help us out. So go ahead. We'll be here when you get back. We'll wait for you. Just don't be too long.
So, yeah, there's 416 Barrett seems to be the projectile of choice for ultra long distance stuff. North, south, left, right. Yeah. I didn't know which order it was in. North is left, south is right, I believe. It's been so long since I've shot anything over 1,500 yards. I don't remember anymore.
Right on, friggin' Jay. And yeah, Bill, hey, listen, man, if your buddy wants to send me some slugs to take a look at, man, Absolutely. All right, let me find something to put these things in. Come on, man. I got to have something laying here. Here we go. We'll use my little cross pellet pouch. Throw our names in there. We got 3 in there. I'm going to shake this puppy up. I'm going to reach in, and I'm going to grab one. And Joe Nolan. He called it. There it is. Joe Nolan. Joe Nolan. So,
Yep.
Joe, do me a favor and here, email me. There you go. Airguns of Michigan at gmail.com. Joe Nolan, email me with the size of the shirt that you want and your address, and I will get that in the mail sometime this week to you. I probably am going to have to make them, so I think I do have 2X shirts. So go ahead and email me with your contact info, and we'll do it again. We'll do it again.
And I said I was going to do this last week, and I didn't write them down, so I have it in my phone here. Some of you guys out there asked where there are any local tournaments going on. The one that is coming up is, what is that? RBGC, which is Rochester Brooks Gun Club, which is up by not far from where the Crossman factory is. So if you're up in that area, there's a match there. NOA, which is, I believe, is Northern Ohio.
That's my way.
Northeast Ohio Airgunners. Where? And it shows website Twin Oaks. I'm not going to do that now. And then next week, you have DIFTA, which is Damascus Field Target Club in Maryland. And you have Dutchess County Pistol Association that Sunday after, 2 weeks, 1 week from this coming Sunday. Now, if you guys have a desire to check out a schedule, if you look up on bcsportsman.org, and that's Broome County Sportsman Association, and that's the page that you'll see right there. You click on schedule, it gives you a whole calendar of events. You can go from month to month and see all the upcoming events. And Moose, you will be happy to know that Burning River is going to happen, I believe, sometime in August, possibly September. I don't know when that GP is, but it is a go, and that is Tyler Patton's home club. So I was there. It's a great place to shoot. They have a field course and a wood course. They're both very challenging. So, are
you going to do that yourself?
I will be there if
okay.
they.
Well, make sure you stay in touch with me because I will come down, especially being in Ohio. For me, that's backyard stuff. So,
yep. I'm gonna say it's probably northeast. It's probably closer. It's wherever Pyramid Air is.
Yeah, it's out by. It's basically
it's not far from there. It's probably about 20 minutes away from Pyramid Air because that's the area that Tyler lives and he worked there. That's his home club.
Yep. Yeah, it's out by Cleveland, so not too bad. Matter of fact, I'll probably reach out to Doug Dishler and see if he wants to come out and do that. Maybe we can get Rob to come up. Rob's been interested in shooting some.
It's a nice 2-day shoot.
So listen, I'm just curious. Like, if we show up for an HFT event, we first-time shooters, and we show up, right? And it's like, okay, you know, here's our station number one. Somebody there is going to be nice enough to explain to us what we can and cannot do, right?
Yeah, they go through the rules every day, and they'll say, "Do we have any first-time shooters here?" And you'll get a bunch of guys raising their hand, and what they'll do is they'll squad you with one or two guys that have done it before.
There you go.
You can ask all the questions you want. Everyone will help you.
Right, and not only that, you could probably shoot third in your group. That way, you could see what the other two guys are doing. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah. All right, cool.
You could say, "Well, I want to go third because I've never done it, and I want to see what the process is."
Right, I want to be able to watch you guys and see what you guys
are doing. They'll show you how the clock works, when the clock starts, what is a shot, what's not a shot. If you shoot them out of order, you lose a point. They'll explain there's a whole bunch of rules to it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Nobody wants to get up to the line and, you know, and like you said, you shoot the wrong target and they go, well, that's a negative point. You're like,
usually what we do with new people is we don't worry about the clock too much, as much as getting them to get the regimen right and the safety part of it. You know, when you get off the line,
right.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, sometime this week, this week I'm cleaning out my garage. That's a task.
This week I got to clean this place out. I got an air pump to my left. I got a lathe to my right.
Strollers from when he was a baby, right? We have like a ton of old strollers. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize one of those strollers, and I'm going to make a place for my bottle. I'm going to make a place for my gun. I'm going to make a place to carry pellets. I'm going to make a case to carry a cooler, and have a place where I can slide my chair and my bipod and everything right into the stroller. And that's what I'm going to push around. I don't care, man. I already own it. So
numerous guys do that. I have a golf cart 6 feet away from me right here, a folding one. That was my intent in having this, and I haven't done squat with it yet.
Send it to me. Send it to me. I'll make it work.
No, I'm trying to make it work for me. It's just that all the crap that I bring with me, I got to find a better way, and I haven't found it yet. And I think that's going to be my ticket right there.
Right. So, yeah, and listen, Thomas and all you guys out there, listen, Tom's got a website, fieldtargettech.com. Isn't that what it is, fieldtargettech.com?
Yes, it is.
So you can actually go to fieldtargettech.com, and maybe we can convince Tom to put a bunch
lowercase or one word.
Right. We can get Tom to put some links in there for, where he knows where the shooters are and all that stuff. And I'm sure there's other links in there anyway. But
I'm going to start posting events on my Facebook page, actually, now that you guys did this. And I'll put a link directly to Broome County Sportsman Association. They're based in Binghamton. And the reason why I steer everyone to that site is they are the most comprehensive of all the websites that try to keep up to date on all the Grand Prix shoots, all the major shoots, basically on the Midwest to East Coast and South. So
that's a fact, Joe. Yard sale this weekend at Moose's. Yes, and actually, I am going to be selling a lot of the stuff out of my garage because I want a new Traeger grill. And I told my wife, I said, man, we've got a lot of stuff in that garage that I can post on like Facebook Marketplace. And watch, I'll buy us a Traeger grill based off that. So for sure. All right. But anyway, with that being said, man, it's getting a little late, you guys. I got to get upstairs. I got a lot of stuff to do, including spend some time.
I got some stuff to do.
But and Tom's got something to
do. Away.
But I'm Moose. This is Airguns, Michigan. That's Tom Holland, Mr. Field Target Tech. We'll catch you guys later on this week. Friday, I'm going to have Tom from High Pressure Pneumatics on the show. And you guys will be able to get, Roy, I got your email. You guys will be able to ask Tom all kinds of questions. We'll be doing some stuff. And just a little heads up for those of you that are interested, we are giving away an FX air gun come Christmas time. So I'm going to be giving away an FX air gun. I'm going to be giving away a scope with that. We're going to be giving away a hand pump with that. We're going to be giving away pellets with that. It's going to be a great Christmas for somebody. to win an FX air gun. It's done deal. So
What caliber is it?
I don't know, whatever caliber I decide. Probably
Because if it's 177, I'll throw some of them little things in. I'll put some of these in too.
No, it'll probably be 22, but
Yeah.
but we'll have other 177 giveaways and stuff like that. So, but either way, we'll talk to you guys all soon. See you guys tomorrow night. We'll try to get Wong in here, and we'll see how that goes. But till next time, I'm Moose. Be good to each other.